can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Alright guys, we recently got some spoilers for the upcoming, I should say, 3 episodes of the Boruto anime. I did kind of read episode 212 spoilers a couple of days ago, but I'm going to reread it. So if you guys didn't necessarily, tap into that one, mainly because I didn't necessarily make that the title of the video, you guys can actually reread it again. But if you guys have already seen it and you guys want to skip over, timestamps are pretty much on the video. But regardless, I do want to give a huge shout out to Organic Dinosaur for translating these spoilers into the actual spoilers. The first one, as I said, is going to be episode 212. The title is going to be Amato's Defection. Now, into the actual paragraph, it says, as one of the main characters of Kata, Amato manages their engineer research and development division on his own. However, Amato has taken Shigadai as hostage and has come to Konoha village to seek asylum. As collateral for being a refugee, Amato agrees to provide some intel that he knows about Kata. Since Amato is an enemy who can't be trusted, and because Shigadai's life is at stake, the Hokage personally negotiates and comes to an agreement with him. Meanwhile, at Kata's hideout, Kashinkoji and Jigen are facing off with one another. They're both ruminating over things and trying to figure out each other's real intentions. Alright, so this episode right here is going to be where essentially everything pops off. Like, I've been saying this for a minute, and it's going to essentially flip the whole series of Boruto completely upside down. They kind of hinted towards it in this chapter right here. Essentially, Amato is actually leaving the Kata organization and trying to join the Hidden Leaf Village, and because of that, Amato is going to naturally give the Hidden Leaf Village a lot of intel on the Kata organization. This right here is going to be absolutely insane. The next chapter is probably going to go a little bit more deep into that, but the biggest thing in my personal opinion is going to be the fact that Kashinkoji is quote-unquote facing off against Jigen, essentially meaning that Kashinkoji is about to actually fight Jigen. Now, we did find out in the last episode of Boruto anime, episode 210, that Jigen right now is essentially extremely weakened. So in a couple of episodes, we don't necessarily know exactly how strong Jigen is actually going to be, but as of right now, he's not in very good shape. And for the people out there who actually do want to keep track with the Boruto manga, this right here specifically is going to be chapter 45. So if you guys do actually want to see exactly what happens during this episode, it's going to be in chapter 45. Now, another thing that I do want to talk about that I did kind of talk about the other video is the fact that they are going to be adapting, it looks like, 1 chapter per episode. And in the past, when we were actually adapting like chapter 39, chapter 40, chapter 41, chapter 42, etc., they were adapting multiple chapters per episode. So essentially, them only adapting 1 episode right here means that they're probably going to add a little bit more anime only stuff to these episodes. A lot of times when the Boruto anime actually does this, they make it a lot better, so that's exactly what I'm expecting. But the next episode is where things really go down. The title is going to be True Identity, episode 213. Now, into the actual paragraph, it says, Shikamaru, Naruto, and the others hear information from Amato in exchange for granting him refugee status in the Konoha village. Amato announces that him and Kashinkoji are colluding with one another in order to deceive Jigen. Amato then tells them about Jigen's true form. He's actually someone named Otsutsuki Ishiki, who came to Earth a long time ago alongside Otsutsuki Kaguya. In addition, Amato begins to talk about the various details behind karma, which is something that has been affecting both Boruto and Kawaki. Now, my goodness, this man Amato is ratting, he's squealing, he's snitching, he's turncoating, he's giving Takashi 69 a run for his money. Amato is essentially telling everything. Now, a lot of things that we are going to see in this episode right here are things that we more or less already knew, but there are some bombshells in this episode, and the paragraph actually stated, I think one of the biggest bombshells is going to be the fact that Jigen's true form is going to be Ishiki Otsutsuki, and Ishiki Otsutsuki actually came to Earth alongside Kage Otsutsuki. In the Boruto manga, we didn't necessarily get to see much backstory with this. We did get some backstory, but not much. I do want to see exactly how the anime deals with this. Is the anime actually going to give us a little bit more information regarding Kage and Ishiki Otsutsuki's actual relationship? Are they going to give us an actual flashback to where we actually do get to see Ishiki Otsutsuki and Kage interacting with each other and how everything went left? In my personal opinion, I think that right there is definitely a possibility because, again, this is only going to be adapting 1 chapter per episode. And again, the anime is liable to add in some anime-only stuff. Now, that right there isn't necessarily the only thing. Organic Dinosaur did translate that Amato is going to be talking about the Karma Seal. Now, specifically, what about the Karma Seal? You guys will have to read the actual chapter. And by the way, I keep on forgetting to talk about this. Episode 213 is going to be adapting chapter 47 of the Boruto manga, so if you guys do actually want to read that, you guys can do that as well. Amato divulged some serious information about the Karma Seal, not only for Boruto but also for Kawaki's Karma Seal. Their Karma Seal is a little bit different, and it's because Ishiki Otsutsuki has multiple vessels. It seems like Momoshiki right now only has one vessel. I'm not necessarily going to talk too much about that, mainly because I'm going to actually save until I actually review the chapter that's being adapted into this episode, specifically chapter 47. But regardless, this episode right here is going to be one of the biggest episodes information wise in the whole series of Boruto. It's going to be absolutely insane. And not only that, they're also going to be talking about a lot of the Naruto Shippuden lore in this specific episode as well, especially when we talk about Kage Otsutsuki and also Ishiki Otsutsuki and also the 10 Tails and the God Tree, a bunch of stuff like that. When I tell you guys Amano is going to be snitching, ratting, turncoating, squealing, everything in this episode is going to be an absolute atrocity in regards to actual thugs and actual shinobi out there who live by the code. Into the next episode, episode 214. Now this episode, the title is going to be A Predestined Fate. Now into the actual paragraph, it says, at Kata's hideout, the battle between Kashin Koji and Jigen has begun. If Jigen were to regain strength like an Otsutsuki clan member, there would be no means for Kashin Koji to oppose such a tremendous power. Before that scenario occurs, he must defeat Jigen and extract Ishiki's real form that has been hijacking Jigen's body. Scrupulously planning his next moves in order to achieve that outcome, Kashin Koji begins unleashing jutsu after jutsu. Meanwhile, in Konoha village, Naruto and the others have been attentively watching over the battle via Amada's device. They see Kashin Koji's plan succeed. Finally, their strong and worst enemy, Otsutsuki Ishiki, has made an appearance. At the same time, Naruto and the others witness an impactful phenomenon that has transpired within Kawaki's karma as a direct result of Ishiki's manifestation. Alright, so this episode right here, in my personal opinion, is probably going to be one of the more important episodes of the whole series. Matter of fact, I'll go out on a limb. This is going to be the most important episode of the whole entire series. And not only that, of course, we have the actual debut of Ishiki Otsutsuki. First things first, it seems that Kashin Koji actually defeated Jigen, which is a feat in itself. We already seen what Jigen actually did to Naruto and Sasuke. Again, one of the things that I do want to bring up is that there's a very good chance that Jigen in that particular fight is still going to be a bit weakened, man, because we've seen in the last episode, Jigen was extremely weakened. Now, I don't necessarily want to take away that win from Kashin Koji because beating Jigen 10%, 2%, 1%, regardless, is still a very good feat. But regardless, we do have to take that with a bit of a grain of salt. Now, not only that, they did say a phenomenon happened with Kawaki's karma seal. Ishiki Otsutsuki is essentially looking at Kawaki as another vessel. If Ishiki Otsutsuki wants to go into another body, it's going to be Kawaki's. Now, I'm not necessarily going to give out the full lore, but of course, obviously, it puts Kawaki's karma seal in the light. Now, not only that, another big thing is going to be the fact that Naruto is actually going to be looking at this fight. You're gonna get to see Naruto's reaction to Kashin Koji, a person that looks a lot like Jiraiya. What we know is that it's probably gonna be the first time that Naruto actually seen Kashin Koji. We know that Naruto actually knows of Kashin Koji, but him actually reacting to him fight is gonna be completely different. We already seen Kashin Koji fight. He fights a lot like Jiraiya, so seeing Naruto react to this in the Boruto anime is gonna be completely amazing. But let me know what you guys think about these episodes in the comment section below. Again, these episodes are going to be the most important episodes of the whole entire series. I personally am super excited for them. I definitely do want to see exactly how the anime owners actually react to these episodes. But it's been your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.